What if I told you that the instruction manual for our reality has been deliberately falsified? That the fundamental laws of physics we memorized in school are nothing more than a simplified, edited version created to ensure we never ask the right questions? This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's an observation. Take an ordinary magnet. Textbooks draw us neat force lines flowing from pole to pole, like slices of an orange. But a simple experiment with iron filings reveals a different picture. The lines form vortices around each pole, weaving into a figure resembling a number 8. A minor detail? Perhaps. Or consider a capacitor. 2 plates with an insulator between them. We're told the charge is stored on the plates, but experiments have proven otherwise. If you charge a primitive capacitor, disassemble it, short-circuit the plates, and then reassemble it, it can still produce a spark. The charge is not stored in the conductor, it is stored in the insulator, in the space between. These small glitches in the code of our physical reality are just the tip of the iceberg. They suggest that we are being kept within a simplified model where perpetual motion is impossible and limitless energy is heresy. But why? To understand this, we need to hack not just physics, but our own consciousness. There are keys that can temporarily disable our internal firewall, our perceptual program. One of these ancient keys is the fly agaric mushroom, not as a poison, but as a tool, microdosing. Consuming it in small amounts, which practitioners claim doesn't cause hallucinations, but clarifies the consciousness. It is after such a clarification that the world, for many, ceases to be the same. The fog in the mind lifts, and you begin to see what was hidden in plain sight. Chemtrails, which cease to look like airplane contrails and become a systematic spraying of unknown substances into the atmosphere. The flat, stationary Earth, which becomes a more logical model than a sphere hurtling through space at unimaginable speeds. Global events, like pandemics, suddenly reveal their true nature, not as a medical crisis, but as a psychological operation. A person who goes through such an experience stops being afraid. They simply know that the official version is a lie, that a virus is not transmitted the way we are told, that alcohol is not a beverage, but shackles, that meat is not food, but a way to lower our vibrations. The consciousness clears and the body follows. Chronic diseases disappear, excess weight vanishes, 20 years fall away from your passport. But when you try to share this knowledge with others, you hit a wall, a programmed reaction. It's poison. It's a drug. People repeat what they were told as children without ever trying to verify it. They are living inside someone else's program. And this program is written not only in their consciousness, but in the very fabric of time. Look at the dates of key catastrophes. World War I, 28/7/1914. Let's add the numbers. 28 plus 7 plus 19 plus 14 equals 68. World War II, 1/9/1939. We add 1 plus 9 plus 39 plus 19 equals 68, using the full year. The pattern isn't always simple and sometimes appears flawed, but the search for them reveals a deeper principle. The architects of this reality leave signatures like programmers in their code. They operate with numbers and symbols because to them, our world is a mathematical model. But who are these architects? Why is their program so destructive? Here we enter a territory that official science calls the occult and religion calls demonic. But what if these are just different languages describing the same phenomenon? There's a growing number of people who feel possessed, not in a medieval sense, but in a modern one. Depression, addiction, panic attacks, uncontrollable anger. The Pope not long ago admitted that the Vatican had received over 500,000 requests for exorcisms. People feel that something alien has taken up residence inside them after they showed even the fleeting interest in fortune tellers, tarot, esotericism, or yoga. This theory states that our world is just one layer of reality. Below us exists an infernal, subterranean world inhabited by entities that can be called demons, devils, or jinn. Their true form has reptilian features, and they infiltrate our world to take over bodies. If you lead an unrighteous life, blaspheme, abuse alcohol, you become an easy target for them. But the most terrifying part is that there are those who are born with the predisposition, those into whom a demon enters while they are still in their mother's womb. Now they say the rules of the game have changed. Some higher power has given these entities more authority. They are massively capturing bodies. How does this happen? Through astral attacks during the REM sleep phase. The invader penetrates the body, reads the brain map, and begins to live its own life. The soul is either expelled or remains trapped inside as if in a prison. They can be detected. They have no aura. They can be seen with infrared camera. They experience camouflage glitches, vertical pupils, changes in skin texture, inexplicable movements beneath it. They surround themselves with specific symbolism, inverted crosses, skulls, the all-seeing eye. Their psychological profile is narcissistic psychopathy. They are empty inside. They are zombies, possessed by ideas of power, destruction, and opposition to everything human. It is these beings, the theory claims, that constitute the vast majority of the Earth's population. We are approaching the most shocking hypothesis. What if most of the people around us are not human in the full sense of the word? What if they are biorobots, test tube babies, created after the last global catastrophe that devastated the planet? The curators of our territory, in order to quickly restore life, began creating copies of living beings, but without the divine spark. Their consciousness is limited by the framework set by their creators. They are incapable of transcending their program. This is the gray mass that lives by primitive needs and blindly follows the stereotypes set by society. They're incapable of making independent decisions. And this biomass, capable of self-replication, gradually prevailed over the pure human souls. Look at history, revolutions, wars, the building of communism, then its abrupt abandonment, today's blind faith in what is said on television. People go to kill each other because their master told them to. They do not ask questions. Why do we live in poverty in the country with the most resources? Why are the technologies that were supposed to free us leading us into a digital concentration camp? They do not ask questions because their program does not have that function. They are not soulless. They can feel pity for a kitten. They are brainless. Their processor does not see logical inconsistencies. Standing in line at the airport, maintaining social distance, and then sitting shoulder to shoulder on the plane. For them, this is normal. For them, anything the authorities say is normal. It is on this mass that power rests. The one who has the fools on their side has the power. And this brings us to the point of no return. What should those who understand all this do? Those who see the chemtrails, understand the nature of digital money, and do not trust presidents. One day, you will wake up, and the financial system will be dead. The banks won't work. Your cards will be just pieces of plastic. Buying a ticket and leaving will be impossible. That is the point of no return. To see it is to already be too late. How do you see the bullet that is meant for you? Only at the moment it enters your head.
In a world of chaos, values change. A gold bar will not be exchangeable for a can of stew. The main currency will be ammunition, food, and medicine. But this is only a temporary stage. The system is preparing the next step. And here we face the most terrible and paradoxical question. What if the Satanist plan is not destruction, but salvation? Look at modern society, a generation of idiots, incapable of raising children. In kindergartens named after Putin and Bandera, new generations are growing up programmed for hatred. What if the only way for the species to survive is to take children away from such parents immediately after birth and raise them in boarding schools, instilling the right values in their minds, eradicating the pernicious narratives? For the first 50 years, it will be totalitarianism bordering on fascism, a harsh suppression of the idiots, restricting their rights. The system would be controlled not by humans, but by an impartial, artificial intelligence operating on moral laws etched in iron. Those who disagree, they can leave the cities, but outside, there will be hordes of wild apes. In 2 or 3 generations, people will grow up who will be ashamed of their ancestors who killed each other on the orders of a president. And now for the scariest part. This is the plan of the Satanists. 15-minute cities, digital currency, the deprivation of parental rights. The only difference is the goal. We might want to do it to save humanity from degradation, and they, we think, want to do it to kill us. But how do we know they want to kill us? The answer is simple. They are not just poisoning us, they are poisoning the nature. Chemtrails are killing the soil, the plants, the animals. They are killing the bees, without which life is impossible. They are destroying the very foundation for life on this planet. Perhaps they have the technology to later turn the desert into a blooming garden, but first, they need to conduct the harvest, to separate the wheat from the chaff, to keep those who are needed for the new civilization, and to discard the idiots. And here arises the final, blood-chilling question. What if in their eyes, we, with our theories, with our resistance, are the very idiots they want to eliminate? What if the Satanists are actually the good guys forced to use brutal methods to save the planet from a frenzied biomass that is rapidly destroying both itself and the world around it? Who gave them the right to decide who is an idiot and who is not? But wasn't it they themselves who created these idiots with their own television, their own propaganda? The people's idiocy is the fault of those who rule them. They made people poor so they would go to war for money. They made people aggressive so they would hate their neighbors. This is their spectacle, and we are the actors in it. The only way to exit this game is to stop playing by their rules, to understand that the president, any president, is the enemy, that their goal is not your well-being, but your degradation and death, that the media is a programming tool. Look at every law, every decree with one single thought. How will this worsen my life? And you will instantly find the answer. Do not listen to their explanations. Think for yourself. Therein lies the difference between a human and a biorobot, in the ability to ask a question for which there is no answer in the program. Subscribe and start seeing the world differently.